Hi, Dave from E-Bike Tips here. Now we're here at the Bianchi stand at the cycle show, and this is a brand new bike for Bianchi. This is part of the new and up and coming e-road market. This is their e-allroad. It's a frame they've made specifically for a new motor that I don't think we've seen in the UK before. This motor is made by a company called Polini. They're an Italian company who have a scooter background, and they've made this mid-motor which weighs about 2.85 kilos and it puts out about 70 newton meters of torque. So it's about the same as the Shimano MTB motor in terms of its output, but it's quite a lot lighter. It's 400 or 500 grams lighter. It's an interesting motor. It's Bianchi's kind of local motor maker. They're just down the road from them in Italy, so they've decided to hook up with them for this bike. And what they're building here is a single frame that can be set up as it is here, as a sort of gravel all-road bike, or it can be set up as more of a pure road bike. It's not a pure road bike, obviously. We're looking at disc brakes here. There's a lot of clearance, so there's room for 32mm tyres and mudguards. And then the motor is a mid-motor, as you would expect, and here we have an internally mounted 500 watt-hour battery. So this is a kind of full-spec e-bike. We've seen the e-road bike market going in two different directions. We've seen people like Cube and Focus and Orbea looking at a lighter weight model, so looking at kind of 12.5, 13, 14 kilo bikes. And also behind me there's another of Bianchi's bikes, the Edoardo, which is like a city bike, which uses the Fazua motor, which is very, very commonly used in those lighter weight bikes. This is more of a full-spec bike, so a longer range, slightly heavier. We don't have scales here, but we reckon it's about 16 or 17 kilos, so it's not as heavy as some of the bikes we've seen, like the Giant Road E+, which is about 19 kilos, but it is still quite a heavy unit. So you're looking at using the power more constantly than with the lighter bikes, which are more designed for riding without power and then just using that for a bit of help up the hills. So it's a very interesting bike. It's going to retail in the UK at £4,000 in this spec. There'll be a road spec too. Bianchi aren't quite sure which of those is going to be the most popular. They're planning to bring them both in, but we're going to try and get a ride on one of these as soon as possible and try out the Polini motor, because it's not one that we've actually managed to have a go on yet. So that's the Bianchi e-allroad. If you've got any questions about this bike, don't forget to ask them in the comments below. We'll try and answer them. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more like this on E-Bike Tips.